civil society also has an important role to play here. The government is totally committed to continuing to create and enable countries on the ideal regulation of civil society in NGOs. I also would like to remind of the established Afghan forms of civil society, the networks and values that have kept us bound together as a nation for decades and centuries, even in the face of war and deprivation. These are families, households, friendships, and communities. The ulama are a pillar of our society and one of the strongest voluntary networks in our country. We are not mere individuals. We are linked to these systems of support that keeps us united and provide during times of hardship. And that is why I've come back over the years to listen also to these more traditional forms of society, particularly in the provinces, because above all, the overreaching expectations of our people is that national unity is preserved and enhanced. Peace, preservation of our democracy and constitution, security, accountability and services, national unity, regional connectivity. These are the expectations and task goals in front of us. But given that Afghanistan is a country with very limited and declining resources, and we are also in the middle of a war and a pandemic, it will be a huge challenge for us to deliver on these expectations. The main theme of our development agenda is to meet these new expectations by doing much more with much less in the face of daunting challenges. We need to deliver with quality, speed, and efficiency, and this will require a very open dialogue with you, our partners, and our citizens to ensure that when and if the context changes, we can adjust. What is today's context? What are the main challenges? First of all, corruption. It's a huge systemic problem on multiple levels. We've made some progress over the past 5 years. All benchmarks, except for one that requires international cooperation, have been met. This is of the current strategy. The Anti-Corruption Commission has been formed. We're working collaboratively on a comprehensive anti-corruption strategy to take us through 2024. Second, the COVID-19 pandemic has thrown us all into a state of global uncertainty. We're forced to backbench development priorities and reallocate already limited resources to fighting the pandemic here. And we are still in the throes of it. A second wave and potentially a third could set us back again and again. Third is poverty. Though recent figures from our Statistical Information Agency show that poverty is reduced by 7% during the last 4 years, it's still a huge challenge that nearly half of the Afghans deal with on a daily basis. And it's further exacerbated by climate change and insecurity. We've had success with some programs, namely the Citizen Charter and the National Meal Program during the COVID-19 pandemic. But poverty eradication will continue to be a cross-cutting goal and a major challenge. And finally, of course, is conflict and uncertainty. Since February of this year, levels of violence have skyrocketed across the country. Plans to achieve peace did not materialize as imagined. Suffering and killing continues to plague Afghans on a daily basis. It is unbearable. It's untenable. The uncertainty it has bred is tangible. We as partners need to confront this uncertainty, particularly in the light of a future political settlement with the Taliban. That agreement must be condition-based. Moving forward, we will have to do more, meet higher expectations, and face challenges, but with much less. But we know this is possible. We've done it before. We're doing it now. I'd like to provide a few illustrations. On the security front, when international forces reduced from 150,000 in 2011 to below 10,000 today. The Afghan National Defense and Security Forces successfully took over responsibility for security and counterterrorism operations in 2015. We have held the front line in the global fight against terrorism. We held our provinces when the Taliban managed to take some districts. We took most of them back quickly. We continue to scenario plan for multiple situations, and we have continuously pushed back Taliban advances over the past few months in Helmand, Kandahar, Badakhshan, and other parts of the country. Today, the NDSF are independently carrying out 96% of operations. On the economic development and regional connectivity front, we initiated dialogue with a range of world-class firms and signed MOUs on renewable energy generation and investment in transmission line and mining. The TAPI project will commence construction in Herat province of Afghanistan in 2021, a $1.3 billion USD investment and a 500 megawatt transmission line from Turkmenistan to Pakistan through Afghanistan will complete its first phase again in the southwest, and many other regional projects are underway. With our Central Asian neighbors, we're pursuing a plan to build railways that link us with Pakistan and India and Iran. The air corridor that started as an idea to get our fruits export foreign export markets. The port of Chabahar is now fully utilized for Afghanistan's imports and exports, as marked by the delivery of 176,000 tons of Indian wheat assistance coming through Zaranj, center of Nimroz province. On public financial management, we have managed to increase budget performance to the 90th percentile. The process of budget allocation is now focused on needs of the citizens across provinces and is a reflection of core national priorities. We are now focusing on replicating self-reliance measure in the sectors of education, urban development, energy, and infrastructure. All of these key sectors are low-hanging fruits for increasing efficiency and output relatively quickly by implementing cross-cutting measures in deflating bloated bureaucracies. We ask you, our international partners, to help us do more with less. Over the past several years, our population has changed. The capabilities and capacities of our